Hi, Stage 2. This week, our focus for Sentences a Day is complex sentences. So I just wanted to go through a PowerPoint with you that hopefully gives you a little bit more understanding of the different types of sentences and the different types of clauses. So, as we know, all sentences are made up of clauses or ideas, like Jack played with a car. So simple sentences, which is the first type of sentence we're going to talk about today, only has one clause or a main idea, and every clause has a verb, which in this sentence is played. So we know that a verb is a word used to describe an action. Okay, so there's other sentences that have more than one clause. For example, Sam found his teddy bear and climbed into bed, where he pulled the blankets around his ears, closed his heavy eyes, and fell asleep. So you can see there is 5 clauses in this sentence. So this allows the author, or you guys as the authors, to provide additional or extra information. And remember, each of these clauses has a verb. So the verbs in these clauses are found, climbed, pulled, closed, and fell. The second type of sentence that we're going to talk about today is called compound sentences. So compound sentences have 2 or more independent clauses. Independent clauses are clauses that can be a sentence on their own. So, she ran to school, she threw her bag into the line. Both of those clauses can be sentences by themselves. But what we can do to make both of these clauses into one sentence, we can add a connective word or a conjunction in the middle of them to form a compound sentence. So, some conjunctions that we can use for compound sentences are and, but, or, yet, or so. And in this case, we're going to use the conjunction and. So our compound sentence becomes, she ran to school and she threw her bag into the line. And like I said before, both of these clauses should have their own verb. So she ran to school, ran is the verb in that clause, and she threw her bag into the line, threw is the verb in that second clause. Okay, so the third type of sentence we're going to talk about today is complex sentences. So these have a clause expressing the main message. The dog ran away. This is an independent clause because it can be by itself in its own sentence. But what's special about complex sentences is they have a second clause, which we call a dependent clause, which can't make sense on its own. So the dependent clause is because the gate was left open. If I had because the gate was left open on its own, in its own sentence, it wouldn't make sense. It needs some information either before or after that clause. So, some words that we can use to connect the independent and dependent clauses for complex sentences are words like because, as, and, after, and before. And remembering that both clauses have a verb, ran and was. I hope this makes sense. Just remember to comment on your Google Classroom or email your teacher if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.